1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, are you guys happy and trusting the World Health Organization to solve the China virus? I'm not. The World Health Organization is the UN's evil wannabe health care organization. They want to promote world health. I think back decades ago, a bunch of white guys, supposedly white, maybe, got together under the World Health Organization or something like that and eradicated smallpox from the world or something like that. And since then, the World Health Organization has done nothing good. They promote so-called reproductive health, which means kill babies, basically, for the most part, or prevent them from getting, push contraception, prevent people from getting, making babies. Somebody in the chat was convinced that this China virus is it was in the YouTube comments of my show yesterday, my episode yesterday. I am James Hake. This is the Hake Report. It is Wednesday in the 9 a.m. hour Pacific time, hour 4 of Jesse Lee Peterson's stream. Thank you, Jesse. And thank you guys for tuning in, everybody on YouTube. Periscope, what's up, Howie and Keck Radio? DLive.tv, Super Dave, Dark Side of the Bear, what? Patrice O'Neill Groiper. And I have not been drinking Raymond 11. Monterey Park is like China. True. And Mixer, what's up, guys? But I think it was Lin Yen Chin, a faithful viewer of the Jesse Lee Peterson show and the Hake Report. What's up, man? I think you're a man. No, I know. And then he said that it is he misspelled it too. Like a genocide or something like that. Basically, he mentioned something called the Georgia Stones. And I think that's like a UN thing or something like that. One of those, those globalist people, the evil people that want to rule the world. We need good people that want to rule the world. Like Trump. And I think the Georgia Stones basically want to reduce the population. And in general, they talk about, we're overpopulated in the world. So that's what he's suggesting, that this China virus is to kill a bunch of people, reduce the population. And they like to promote homosexuality. Definitely helps reduce the population because you can't have kids. And pornography is good for that because people just have imitation sex with themselves or whatever, instead of making babies. Being mature and dignified. Want people to just be undignified animals and just waste away, and then no kids. Reduces the population. There's a homosexual guy, radical homosexual guy, evil guy, and his name is escaping me right now. I think it's Dan Savage, actually. He is a really evil, nasty person. Refuses to come on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, by the way. Back when I was producer, I interviewed him. Just observe yourself when you're smoking pot, Hake, says Tiger Tan Titan. I do not smoke pot, but I did drink a little bit of iced coffee. So maybe I'm a little hyper. But anyways, where was I? I was talking about how Dan Savage, the homosexual guy, he's this founder of the It Gets Better thing. That's when gays are like, oh, life is horrible, but it gets better. He's promoting kids becoming openly homosexual. He said that we need to reduce the world population, promote abortions, all that mess. And so they're the scum of the earth. And so I don't buy this, the world is overpopulated mess. even though the world is the most populated that it's been maybe ever, at least according to science. But who believes that, right? Abortion is the worst crime against humanity and ends the population, says Tomiko Anderson. Is Dan Savage white? That's a good question, Ilfin. I don't know. I will get to your calls, guys. 888-775-3773. Very interesting calls. I'm looking forward to it. By the way, I just wanted to show you who's in charge of who. The UN's World Health Organization. I have the picture of this guy. I don't even remember his name, but just Google it or DuckDuckGo it. We should be boycotting Google, right? DuckDuckGo it. DuckDuckGo is DuckDuckGo.com is a good replacement for Google. They don't shadow ban Jesse and stuff, but that's the guy. He's in charge, and he was celebrating yesterday Women in Science Day. There are female scientists who are leading the charge against this China virus. But before I get to calls, and I hope to talk about Yang. Yang can't hang. Andrew Yang, he dropped out. I may talk about Drain Wade. He's deluded. And I know some of you guys want to talk about him. And by the way, real quick, I received a text message from my friend and yours and Bond's friend, Maria, said that Che Guevara, speaking of socialism, communism, the brainwashing of people, the dumb Bernie bros and Bernie sisses, she said Che Guevara was born in Argentina. He's like a communist hero or something. I had a government and economics teacher in high school who I think, if I remember correctly, it could be a false memory, but I don't smoke pot. It could be a false memory, but if I remember right, he had a poster of Che Guevara on his classroom wall. He also had a poster of the Beastie Boys on his classroom wall, and he was white, I think, something. Maybe he was Ukrainian. But anyways, guys, I was thinking about yesterday. Yesterday on my show, I had a very interesting caller. Well, I thought he was interesting. Mike from San Diego. He's called in the past, come to church and things. And he made the accusation that like Bond or whatever, Bond is a cult, or the Jesse fans or whatever are a cult, which is another, honestly, meaningless accusation, but it just makes it interesting. We can talk about it. Because the whole world is a cult. Dwayne Wade talking like his son trying to live her so-called her truth because his son wants to be a girl. They call it your truth. That's cult language. The whole world is a cult, including there's a Jew blaming cult. There is you can say people who treat Jesse as though like he's their leader. When he says, I'm not your leader, I don't want to be a leader, don't follow me, don't believe me, know for yourself. What kind of cult leader does that? But that's true. Like, you can find anybody who's going to be like, even in the Bible, it says there's this thing where there was this division amongst the Christians. I follow Paul. I follow Apollos. I follow Christ. And then I think Paul made this point in the Bible, who Mike from San Diego does not like Paul. But Paul, I think he's the one who made this point. He says, is Christ divided? Were you baptized in the name of Paul? And different things like that. Basically, to be united and not be following a leader and putting your ego and whatever else into a person. But also, probably shouldn't be smearing people. So, what kind of cult leader says don't believe him? Know for yourself. Anyways, guys, I just thought I would make that point. I'm going to get to some calls, and then hopefully I get to Yang, especially. Nick, out of Florida. Nick, thanks for calling. What's up?
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Hey. Just to speak on the cult thing.
Yeah.
A cult can be used for, pretty much anything.
True. Yeah.
But I wanted to speak on why men are acting like women and why acting like women is a bad thing.
Okay. That's a good idea.
First we know of evil starting when Eve supposedly eating the apple or whatever. But not to go back that far, the reason men are acting the way they do is 90% of the problems that we have are because of the food that we eat,
The food that we eat makes us effeminate? Makes people effeminate?
No. See, a good portion of the grown had issues with maybe formulas and things like that. Now,
like as opposed to breast milk, they had people drank formula? Babies drank formula?
No, formula that was pumped full of estrogen.
Yeah.
Now, the problem that we're having now is the meat alternatives.
Meat
Things
alternatives.
That, like, KFC has, Burger King has, Dunkin' Donut has these meat alternatives.
Even Dunkin' Donuts. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts has the sausage.
Okay.
Now, what they're not telling you, but you can do the research, that these meat alternatives are pumped full of estrogen.
Wow. Kind of like soy?
Exactly. But soy is natural. Estrogen isn't.
Yeah.
Estrogen is found in females.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's the mindset of the female because that's what they're eating.
You really think it's that? It definitely may contribute. I don't know.
No, but think about the people that are eating those products.
Liberals?
No, just picture a guy that would be going to Burger King and saying, "Oh no, I'd rather have that fake meat."
Right.
Picture what he would look like.
Yeah. Interesting
Picture
point.
the person that's going to Dunkin' Donuts and saying, "No, I don't want the sausage. I want the fake stuff."
Right.
Picture what he would look like.
Probably a little bit estrogenic.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
You make a fair point, man.
No,
I think it's
that's
deeper
what it is,
than that, though.
Like, it's literally, it even tells you in the Bible how to get your head right. It tells you to fast.
Yeah.
It tells you to not eat for a couple days. Get your head right. It's all because of the food that you're eating. They're trying to, we make it into these stories for people, but it's a lot simpler than that. It's good in, good out.
All right. I appreciate the point, Nick. Yeah.
If people paid attention to what they did and what they put in their body, you know what I mean? It's really simple. It even said it in the beginning of the Bible that she ate something. It got her head messed up.
All right.
I think it's a lot simpler than we all see it, but we like to paint a picture around it. We call labels and all these things gay, da 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 da. It's just a sickness.
Right.
And if you stop eating for a couple days, and then the whole silent prayer thing that Jesse talks about.
Yeah.
We literally have silent prayer all day long when we're not talking to somebody, we're not thinking about something, we're not pondering on something. We're in a silent prayer. But see, when people say prayer, they think it's got to be a conversation.
Right.
It's not a conversation.
I know.
It's just when you're not focusing on something and you're not thinking about something, that's the time when God is working within you. That's why you want to erase those thoughts and erase all those things, because that makes more quiet time.
When I read Hake News, I think in the first hour or maybe second, I read about this dumb bishop or something in the Church of England who was apologizing to the people for racism. And I looked on his Twitter feed, and he just looks like a liberal. He looks like he may eat that meat stuff, that fake meat.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
They're poisoning their mind.
But anyways, he was I saw a video, I saw him tweet out about prayer, and he's like, the best way to learn how to pray is to pray. and then he's just.
Well,
But
see,
I think that
people
it's
don't understand what prayer is.
yeah,
See, like if you pay attention, like 90% of the times that you pray about something, it doesn't happen because prayers are selfish. Prayers are usually about something that you want, something you need. You don't. If you have an issue, God already knows it. So don't. When you're saying pray for this, pray for that, you're being selfish. That's stupid.
you know.
I mean,
It's not even just asking for stuff that's selfish. A lot of times people feel guilty or want to like so-called confess their sins and things, and they're venting about their so-called
so
sins.
they can feel good around other people. Like, look, I did good.
It's not
I
even
said I was
around other
sorry.
people. It's kind of like it's not even necessarily that they're doing it around other people. They're people beating themselves up over their wrongdoing. And like kind of wallowing in their misery. That's selfish too. That's every bit as selfish as praying and asking for stuff all the time.
Because people are weak, man. People don't understand that these are simple things. Unless you're
right, I know.
raping people, unless you're killing and raping people, move on, man.
Interesting
and
point.
Then here's my last thing though. Like,
okay,
retarded people don't know they're retarded.
Maybe so.
No. I've talked to people with Down syndrome and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't know that they have an issue.
Okay.
So I believe that's the same way with all these other people that are sick in the head.
Yeah.
They don't know it.
Right.
They don't see it like we do because we're not sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot easier to see other people's issues clearly than your own.
Yeah, because you got to step back and examine. You don't have to put yourself in that situation. Get out of it.
Yeah.
If you're having a problem and you're having an issue and maybe you just need to stop eating for a couple of days.
Yeah. Interesting.
The Bible says it too, the fast.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Nick.
There's something there.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
And don't eat all the fake food.
Okay. Thanks for the advice, Nick. Appreciate that.
All right, bro.
Take care.
Bye.
Joelle says it's best to watch how your body reacts to stuff as opposed to just the learning about stuff and having the knowledge about it. That makes a lot of sense. Let me get to Art out of Ohio. Art, what's up? How you doing?
What's up, Hank? How you doing, man?
Doing fine. Nice to hear from you, man.
All right, first things first, man. What is this thing the dude started? He said it gets greater later or something like that. The gay dude, he started something. What did he start? What's the name of it again? Called again?
The It Gets Better campaign by radical homosexual evil guy Dan Savage.
Funny. Long story short, they so funny with that gay selves, man.
Yeah.
Long story short, man. When is it gonna get better? When is it gonna get better after you contracted AIDS?
Fair point. Yeah.
When is it gonna get better? After the devil's laughing at your butt and you burning up in hell? So when is it gonna get better?
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't see it getting better, and I don't think it is. I know it ain't. So long story short, what
Fair
the last
point.
guy was talking about, the last call, sorry about that, man. I'm trying to get everything out before I forget about it.
Uh-huh.
Thanks to the weed. Long story short, I didn't know that about the estrogen and the little McDonald's and all the little food, which makes sense because you are what you eat. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like all cars don't take the same motor oil, all people don't take the same, don't ingest and take the same thing, don't have to have the same thing that goes into their body. Everybody is built different.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that what dude was saying. So that was the FYI learning experience for me. I learned something new from that. That's good. But my problem is with him, I think he might need to, do a little bit more studying in that Bible, which we all might need to do, me, including myself. But I'm going to tell you one thing for sure. Father God gave us freedom to decide if we wanted to worship him or if we wanted to worship the devil. And, I get what he's trying to say about the selfishness about prayer.
Yeah.
But just like any kid going to their father, your father... Me had my own kid. I know what my kid needs. He might need some shoes, But in the back of his head, he might be like, man, I pray that I do this, do that, do that. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, Father God might know we need stuff, but he still wants you to come asking for it. He still wants you to humble yourself and come and pray for him rightfully and ask him for the stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's the only way you're going to make it get yourself into the kingdom of heaven is for prayer and forgiveness and following his commandments. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much he wants us asking. But there is a little bit of asking, for sure.
So do you have kids?
Say that again?
Do you have kids?
No kids, no wife, no nothing like that.
Okay, so if you did have a kid, would you want your kid to just go in the refrigerator anytime he want and just right at the refrigerator, eating up all the hog balls, all the grapes? I want some of them hog balls too. So that's what I'm saying. Do you want your kid to ask, or you just want him to freely just carry it and right at your freezer in your refrigerator?
I see your point. You want the kid the kid to like acknowledge and obey the father, right?
Humble yourself.
All right.
Humble yourself. You ain't gonna step on your father's toe. I mean, that's why he told these guys they're gonna burn in hell because they're not humble.
You know, one of the things.
No respect.
One of the things that I learned in the Bible, or maybe it was Jesus Club, from my mother's, but was that King David or David, as in the guy who beat?
Here we go with him. Go ahead.
The guy that beat Goliath. When he was leading the armies and stuff of Israel, he would always ask God what he should do before he went.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I don't know.
Heck yeah, man. I ain't gonna get my little secret away or whatnot. You better go ask him whenever anything that you do. You better talk to him because you don't want to go into any battle without him on your side or whatnot. For sure. But
I appreciate that. Listening. What do you think about Dwayne Wade?
Oh yeah, good stuff. There you go. Man, if you look at that guy, man, he's lost, man. He's a big beta baby.
Yeah.
He is lost, and I feel so bad for him because I don't understand if I don't think he might not ever had a girl in high school, or this must be all the most attention he's gonna get through all his whole life. Because I don't understand how you had all that money and you don't see this woman, Gabrielle Union, is a fucking crazy, a freaking loony, a liberal loony. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That pretty smile don't mean nothing.
I know.
And that's another thing. How are you going to be having control over a kid that ain't even yours? Like, if you want to mess up some kids, why don't you mess up your own kid?
It's mind-boggling.
Go ahead.
I said it's mind-boggling. For those who don't know, Dwayne Wade's a basketball player. He's married to this new woman, Gabrielle Union, who's an actress, plays a slut on TV. And he has a kid with an ex-wife who's 12 years old, a young man, thinks that he's a woman. And Gabrielle Union has been taking this kid to gay pride parade rally things ever since he was 11, 12, maybe younger. And she's acting like it's a positive thing, and she's his stepmother. She's not his real mother. And it seems like she's leading the way, and Dwayne Wade is following her. She's like 9 years older than Dwayne, if I remember correctly. 7 to 9 years older. Maybe more.
Okay, so, Mr. Hake.
Yeah.
I want America and these males to take note and sit back and take note. And it's only going to be so long you're going to be able to sit back and take note. Because we in the action phase of things in 2020. We don't sat back long enough. Long story short, man, Dwayne Wade, he's definitely lost or whatnot. You can see that he's definitely let her lead. And she ain't leading him to kiss the hell or whatnot.
Right.
And I wonder why ain't nobody calling these liberal females out with all this damn child abuse, man.
Yeah, it is.
Takes their kid basically to a porn show at 12 years old and expose them to that type of stuff. Whereas grown 18-year-olds practicing sexual acts, and then you doing this around a kid that ain't even of age.
Right. All right, man. I appreciate it. Good points.
Ain't nobody calling out the abuse, though.
Yeah. They're not, except for Jesse.
Except for Jesse and Hake, man. Hey, and tell Joe and everybody in y'all's little show, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Alpha for life. And I'm gonna tell you something that man, this show gonna blow up, man. This show on the way, man. Y'all stay how y'all stay, man, because y'all got a nice dynamic. Y'all got a 1995 Chicago Bulls dynamic, man. Y'all gotta keep this together. For real, I'm being serious, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
How y'all doing it? Y'all end up taking over a lot of these shows or whatnot that's on TV. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thank you, Art. Appreciate the feedback.
Already. Mark my word, man. Go ahead, man. I'll catch you later, man.
All right. Take care. You know, he brought up the It Gets Better campaign. It reminds me of that dumb LGBTQ activist / rising star journalist who was killed, and they did this little display for her, this mural over in Ireland or Northern Ireland or something, where this there's this group that's being called terrorists. I don't know if they are, that called the IRA, Ireland's, like Northern Ireland, or, you know, there's Northern Ireland and there's Ireland, and one of them is supposedly part of the UK. One of them is independent of it, and I think the one that's part of it wants to break away completely from the UK, the United Kingdom, meaning like England and all, British, whatever. Well, this woman is like an activist, so-called journalist, or was, right? She got killed. And CNN did this story on her. And this was like my first introduction to this woman. I think it's a woman. She has short hair. It's hard to tell. Looks a little boyish, but you just don't know these days. Named Lyra something. And on this mural dedicated to this person, it said something like, "It won't always be like this. It's going to get better." That was in Belfast. And dumb British and Irish politicians, of course, came together to mourn her death and go to her funeral acting like they loved her. They didn't. But it's all political correctness. And it's all phony and gross. You know, one of the prime ministers of one of these Irish countries is a homosexual with a partner. It's gross. Lyra McKee. Lyra McKee. With a K-E-E. Mc. Interesting. I guess. Anyways, let me get to some more calls. Ryan, out of Concord, California. Ryan, thanks for calling. I wasn't able to get to you yesterday. What's up?
Don't worry about it. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
Hey, so I wanted to respond to Mike's call from yesterday, and then what you talked about earlier about like how he called Bond a cult.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny too because he was asking for proof. He was asking you like, you know, oh, are you married? Do you have your own place?
Right.
Is Jesse married? What is, Joelle doing? What is Nick doing? And it's like the proof for Jesse's show working would be people like me who have been to like church for so many years and who have looked to like the world for things to overcome like the void that was within me. And then when I heard Jesse's message about like forgiveness and not hating your fellow man and not judging or playing God, like the second I forgave, my life turned around and I haven't like hated anybody since. Like I'll stand up for things, but I don't hate anymore. And it's just crazy because like that caller wants physical proof of like why Bond works, but you're not going to see really a physical proof of it because Jesse's message is like spiritual and he's not trying to like grow men up by like getting them wifed up and like getting their own house. Like men will do that naturally. He wants men to overcome like anger and stuff. And like when I forgave my parents and I did the steps that Jesse said last year, my whole like world turned around. And like I was ready to like end everything. I didn't want to be alive. I hated my life. When I heard Jesse and I did his message and I overcame and stuck with the silent prayer and did all that stuff, my life just like turned around 180. And it's just crazy how like callers want specific proof of like Bond working, but even guys work through the spirit. You guys work through anger and stuff like that. So I think it's just an important message that he probably should pay more attention to instead of just like judging you or judging other people.
Right. You know, the other thing is, even if nobody woke up, because in the Bible, there was this guy, Nathan or Jeremiah, one of those, I think it was Jeremiah actually, who preached and preached and preached, repent, 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 and nobody responded. And it was, at least according to like what I heard and what I read in the Bible about his story, nobody ever repented, but he was calling it out. He was doing his job, and but he was telling the truth. And then too, like, if you're not blind, you can tell that Jesse's telling the truth. You know that even if you are blind, but I don't know if you're on the right track or what, but somehow, like, the people who can see at least a little bit, even if they are blind still, can see that Jesse's coming, one, from the right place, meaning he's good-natured, it's all love, even when he's talking harshly, and two, that he just speaks with authority. It's like people were baffled at Jesus speaking with authority because they never heard any man talk like that. Not like the scribes and the Pharisees and the teachers of the law and stuff. The people that, the intellectuals is what I imagine that they were. They were just speaking from their learning. And whereas Jesse Lee Peterson and Jesus and others, they speak with authority because they have, actually, it's like God inside of them or something. And it's just real. Right. And if you're not blind, you're not looking and scrutinizing and suspecting and accusing and stuff. And it just shows that you can't see for yourself, so you're just trying to find outer reassurance. But in reality, he's already jumped to conclusions about stuff that I say. He thinks that he thinks that I say stuff about myself that I don't even say. Like, I don't say, I'm being a man, you need to be like me. You never hear me even come close.
No, yeah. I just find it funny, though, because he was asking you for specific proof. And I'm like, over here thinking in my head, the proof is to not hate. Like, the proof is to not judge. It's not like a physical thing that you're going to see.
Right.
You know, and Jesse's message is universal. You don't even have to be a Christian to, like, really, like, accept what he's saying.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people get the impression, like, oh, you have to, like, be a Christian to, like, see what Jesse's saying. Like, if you just forgive other people and not judge them or hate them, that's, like, if everyone ended up doing that, it would be amazing. But, like, the message is just really, like, people don't focus on the message. They focus on, like, oh, what is he doing? Let me see the proof. Let me see the numbers. Who has he helped in bond?
Right.
Oh, James, you've been in bond for so many years and you're not like this.
Right.
And he's trying to put a label on it. And, you know, there's no labels when you overcome hate. Like, you could be rich or you could be poor, but you should just not hate.
Yeah, I noticed that when he was complimenting us, or complimenting Jesse and my show a little bit, he was talking about, oh, I love how you guys tell the truth and bomb on the liberals or something like that. And it's interesting that he only found the appeal in the shallow stuff, like the physical things, the politics, as opposed to the spirit, which is all Jesse really talks about primarily. And that's what made the politics ever appealing to me in the first place, that I did not like politics because I didn't like the ugliness that came out of people and myself. But once he made it to being about right and wrong in the spirit, then politics started to make sense to me a little bit more. So right. I don't know. And I noticed that other snakes are like that. Like Skip from Georgia, he said, I realized that Jesse Lee Peterson is just entertainment. He said that. And he said that in I think you said it in the church chat. I was this close to just banning him at that point, because then, like, what are you here for? But yeah, people are, I think you're either blind to the truth or you're can see certain things. I don't know. Some people are just blind.
My point is the proof is a spiritual it's a spiritual thing. It's not a physical. So you're not going to find proof other than just getting to know people and knowing, seeing that before they had anger and then now they don't. But
yeah.
Because, like, even I still, like, mess up and I'll do stuff in my life that I don't want to do, but I'm not angry about it and I don't judge myself about it. And I just have to pick up my mistakes and then just bear them, you know? And it's, I don't know. I just, like, when that caller called yesterday, I was like, there's no way, dude. Like, I drove all the way down to L.A. for a men's conference. Like, this man changed my life. Like, there's no way I can, like, just let Mike call and say all this stuff. Like, I'm living proof.
Right on, Ryan. I appreciate it, man. We'll see you maybe later this year.
Yeah, I'm planning on coming down, I think, in September for the men's conference again. Hopefully, I think that's the same time you guys are having your 30-year anniversary.
Well, yeah, we're normally the men's conference is Father's Day weekend, but stay tuned about that. But we're doing the 30th anniversary celebration in the fall, September, late September, maybe. We're gonna announce the official date. I mean, we floated a date, but you can pencil that in. But we'll get you. We'll keep you guys abreast of what's going on.
Perfect.
All right, man. Take care.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Ed, out of Oklahoma. Thanks for holding. Ed, first-time caller. What's up?
How are you?
Hey, doing fine.
On the population control topic.
Yeah.
When you hear the term population control, that was always my natural thought too, is we're running out of room on Earth. But from what I've read, that you could fit everyone on Earth fairly comfortably in the state of Texas as far as population and people go.
Really?
And let's just, you can look it up. I haven't done the math myself, but I kind of believe it. But let's just say you could fit everyone on Earth in the United States. Let's just say that, and say that the Texas theory is wrong. But if you could do that, there's plenty of room on Earth.
Yeah.
So population control is just that. It's control. Think about all the people that tell the truth and that would like to take action, the percentage of that people. If we were to double the population or triple it, that percentage would be even bigger. So you would have more people willing to take action, and that's what the elites are afraid of. So population control is just that. They're trying to control the situation.
Yeah, they're playing God. It's so crazy. They're evil.
Yeah.
You know, what did you bring up? You brought up something that made me think of something, but I forget what it was already. But
just the Texas thing, everyone in Texas.
No, you brought up how people believe in this overpopulation thing. You'll notice all the people that believe that are people that are, for one, college educated, dummies. And for two, college is beta. I like that sticker on DLive. Somebody made that sticker. But it's the people that live in the cities that are like jam-packed and full of traffic and stuff. And those cities are like centers of just degeneracy and centers of, I don't know, they're poorly run, liberal.
That's a very good point, because the people in the cities are mainly the people that fall for those things too, because they're looking in the city thinking, yeah, we all are jammed up.
I know.
There's too many people.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild. I appreciate that, Ed. Good points.
Hey, no problem.
Take care, man.
All right, you too. Thanks.
All right. Let me get to Felix. First-time caller out of Miami, Florida. What's up, Felix?
Dade County in the house. What's up, my brother? Everything good with you, man?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, man, thank you, man. I just want to say thank you guys for, spreading the truth and this and that, whatever. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I love you guys.
Thank you, man.
Jesse taught me a couple things in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, one day I was in line at Checkers trying to get some French fries. You don't have the best fries. And all of a sudden, a video pops up on my phone. Jesse Lee Peterson, Savage Moments. I don't know. And I'm there. It's a long line. And I just click on it. I'm like, who's this crazy guy with weird eyes? And boom. And I was like, wow. I just started cracking up. And I was like, whoa, it's amazing. And then I got deeper into it, and then I noticed the teachings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to be like some people. Like, some people put Jesse Lee, like, I've seen some people on their Instagram, and they like just quoting everything Jesse's saying. Just a guy just like me and you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna get too deep into it. Like, I mostly agree with almost everything he says, but God is God, and there's no other God but the Most High. Well, that's the first commandment, right? Do not put any man above God.
Right.
But like I just I felt it, and I've learned so much. Like the thing that I feel the most is when he says, he's like, don't plan stuff, and just like put faith in God, and it'll come out right. And it's true. Like the God says, you guys are idiots. Stop relying on your lack of wisdom. Leave it up to me, and you will be fine. And it's so hard for people to do. Like, people are like, oh, no, like, oh, I don't believe in God. I am atheist, or I am whatever the other one's called. What are the people that don't know the truth?
Agnostic.
God is agnostic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy. Like, he says, leave it up to me, and the kingdom will be yours. Like, even if you have doubt in him, like, that's the only thing he says is like, leave it to me. And people find it so hard to do,
Yeah.
And those people that don't give it up to him, like, they have so much trouble in life, they have so much stress, so much problems and stuff like that. And it's like, yo, even if you have doubts, leave it up to me. Like, they'd rather hell than the kingdom of Zion, than the kingdom of heaven. And I try to tell people all the time, and a lot of people don't want to listen, but once in a while you get people that do want to listen, and they get it. Like, they download the information into their hearts.
Right.
And an example of that is, like, I'm a rapper, I'm a musician, I do all type of music, reggae, rap, singing, Spanish stuff. I'm from Miami, my parents are Cuban, and I'm a proud American, all American. I don't have nothing to do with Cuba.
Nice. That's
tell
cool.
people I'm a proud Jamaican, if anything, because Jamaica has done a lot more for my culture than Cuba has. Cuba never did nothing for me. Jamaica has reggae artists that they praise Jah in their songs, and they're like, we'll be forever loving Jah. And without shame, and it's not corny, and it's true, So, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? And what was I going to get into? And, yeah, it's so hard for people. So, for example, last night I went to the studio because some people that own a music school in Miami wanted me to do a jingle for them. And I was like, all right. The other day I was falling asleep right before, I passed out. I got the phone call, and they're like, oh, I want you to do this for me. I was referred to you by this and that, da-da-da. And I was like, all right. And I didn't even, write down anything. I didn't write down a plan. Jesse put that in my head. I ain't going to lie. Jesse, shout out to you. Shout out to you, Hake. You guys are amazing. And I went into the studio. I booked a 4-hour session. And we went in there, and we just started it. And it just came, it just came. Like, I wasn't even planning anything. It just came to me, and it came out so beautiful. Like, I'm going to make a lot of money off of this, Like,
right on, man.
For how long
That's nice.
took, but I just left it up to him. Like, he just says, don't rely on your lack of wisdom. Leave it up to me. That's what he says.
Yeah.
And I just, I picked up the Bible, and the first commandment. Let me see. I highlighted it because I was about to say the first commandment is men go out into the world, find women, and multiply. Because y'all said something about that. But the first one is, hold up, Genesis. The first one is,
it says,
and the Lord God commanded to the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. That means don't think with your head.
Yeah. That's a nice point.
That basically means don't think with your head. And who made man think with his head? Woman.
True.
And what does circumcision mean? It's like it's not Jewish. It's originally Aramaic, Hebrew, the true Hebrews. It means what's the word? It basically means just cut off the top.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So don't think with the top, think with the center. God is in the middle. He's the Father programmed himself into every living thing, and we go against him. We go against him. We go against him, and we get jealous when females cheat on us, and or when our friends don't call us. But God's jealousy is different from our jealousy. It's like he forgave us. He gave us the benefit of the doubt. He let us live after we didn't deserve the blessing. And we keep on turning our backs on him, you know what I mean? And he keeps on letting us get second chances. And his jealousy, that's his jealousy. Like, wow, I keep on letting you and letting you and letting you. And still turn your back on me. So God's jealousy is different from ours. God's
I appreciate that, Felix. Interesting
I mean?
points, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
thank you so much, man. I love you guys so much, and I get so much inspiration from you guys, and I'm so blessed to have you in my life. Say what's up to Jesse.
I
say
will.
What's up to the rest of the gang. He's black, he's white, this and that. I love it, bro. It's amazing, bro. You guys have inspired me so much in life that, trust me, man. And I sent you guys the Donald Trump anthem, the Guala Gang anthem to the email. Check it out. See if y'all can play it during the commercial break or something, man. You guys are going to love it, all right?
All right. We'll look out for it, Felix. Thanks, man. Good to hear from you.
All right, Hake, man. You're number one, bro.
Thank you.
We're a bunch of number ones. That's it.
All right. Take care, man.
Thank you, brother.
Bye. Yeah, I was going to do a t-shirt. I still need to do it. Knowledge is poison. I did an episode maybe a year ago, maybe 2, called Knowledge is Poison, and I had Malcolm X on it. And some people were like, Malcolm X never said that. But anyways, let me get to Kira out of Florida. Am I pronouncing your name right, Kira?
Yeah. Hey, Hake. How's it going?
Going fine. How about you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Good. I was curious. Well, I noticed the show kind of started out with like homosexuality stuff.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you if you thought people are born gay.
I think that some people may be born gay. I don't think they're conceived homosexuals, but they turn gay like in the womb if the mother is like nutty. I've heard Jesse Lee Peterson mention this, and I've talked with him about it. I'm like, yeah, maybe. But maybe. But to be honest, like kids are not sexual. I mean, they do turn sexual earlier and earlier if they're living in a degenerate atmosphere and world. You know, like even little girls go through puberty earlier if they don't have their father around. But I really don't. I suppose they might have that kind of issue going or kind of bred into them because there's all types of different symptoms of anger. Some of people are shy with anger. Some people are violent with anger. Some people are afraid with anger. And some people turn homosexual or all into knowledge, intellectual, which is the same thing as emotional. So it's possible. I just don't know. It's a big mystery, right? Because who knows? And they never found a so-called gay gene. They did find a phenomenon, I heard, that like the youngest boy out of a series of bunch of boys being born is more commonly coming out homosexual. But who knows, right? Maybe that's the mother's tired of having boys. I want a girl. So the best thing they can do is have a gay boy. But I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, and that's why I was asking. I was just wondering what you thought.
Yeah.
The reason why. My thought is I think it all has to do with influence. Like you said, I don't think people are born gay.
Right.
I think when it comes to kids,
yeah.
You know, when you hear somebody say, oh, I knew at a really young age that I was gay, I think that kid went through something or saw something inappropriate or, you know, obviously something inappropriate happened to that child to make them gay one way or another. And I know 2 people, that wasn't gay. I mean, they dated boys, all were interested in boys all throughout, their young. And then once they got older, I know somebody, she actually thought she was talking to a boy.
You're breaking up a bit, Kira. Stay close to your phone. Stay still if you can.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Repeat the last line that you said.
Oh, okay. I knew someone that thought they were talking to a boy because this man was so manly that they didn't know it was a woman until they got sexual. And then she just was like, well, we've been talking this whole time, so I guess I'm gay now, And then, so that to me was just like, oh. And then I have my cousin, she was, interested in the same situation. And then she had like really nobody to support her and really none of us, well, I don't live where she lives, so I wasn't there for her. And her family there wasn't there for her. And she just started talking to this lesbian. Well, all of a sudden she's a lesbian, and they started dating. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can just. That's why I don't think you're born gay, because I've seen so many examples that people have been influenced or coaxed, or something inappropriate happened to them at a very young age, and that like molestation, that a lot of boys that are molested at a really young age turn out gay. And
what else? What else happens? I think is there's more subtle stuff than outright sexual molestation that goes on in these worlds where, how Jesse Lee Peterson talks about how the mothers are overbearing in one way or another, and they overmother their children sometimes, and just different things like the anger of the mother. It's more subtle, and whereas the man's anger, like he may like hit the wife, right? But nobody points out, and even the kids are not even conscious of the evil things that the mother's doing to provoke that and all that. So I think that there may be stuff happening to these kids, so that a lot of times the kids turn into like a mama or perverted sexual in a way that like attracts these homosexuals that then molest them. Because every kid I think that every kid is not attractive to some of these homosexual pedophiles that do that stuff. So, so I think that there may be some type of twisting that already sets the kid up before that molestation ever happens sometimes. But I don't know.
Of course. Oh, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
interesting,
I was curious about
Kira.
that.
Yeah, it's the experts and all the people, they talk about I was born this way, and there's no science to back that up. They think that they're pro-science.
No.
They don't know it.
That's
Nobody
very
knows,
cute.
right? Except for God.
Exactly. And that's why I don't think, God made us all the way, how he made us in his image. And in my opinion, this is my opinion, I don't think that he would make people gay. So that's why I think it's solely on influence and this, that, and the other. But you can grow out of it, or you can give into it and feed it even more, and that makes you even more feminine or masculine.
Yeah, you'll notice people get more perverted sexually, and their attractions get worse over time when they're getting into that stuff. For sure. It's kind of like drugs. They set up this false dichotomy. Were they born that way, or is it a choice? Well, no, they weren't born that way, and no, it's not a choice. You don't choose your perversions, although the stuff that you do throughout your life gets you more and more into it. So they set up that false thing. And then the whole question of whether they were born that way doesn't mean that it's right. So even if they were to somehow prove that something, it can't be helped. For one, yes, it can be helped. And for two, none of it's relevant to whether it's right or wrong. And it's obviously wrong. Everybody knows that it's wrong. So they some of them just forget because they get so diluted in the world. Appreciate it, Kira. Very interesting.
Yeah, thank you, Hake, for taking my phone call. You have a great day, okay?
Thanks. Same to you. Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Before I get to Matthew in Texas, this guy brought up something that reminded me of something important that happened. Kujakler25. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your YouTube screen name. But he asked, did Hake talk about Bloomberg getting hate for pointing out reality? I forgot about that. That happened. It came out. It was all over the news yesterday. Former Republican mayor, Michael Bloomberg, total rhino. He turned into a Democrat. He's a multi-billionaire. I think he has $70 or $90 billion. I think he might have spent $10 billion, or maybe I'm just wrong, on his campaign. He isn't even in, is he in the primaries yet? He hasn't been on the debate stage yet. But this former mayor, Michael Bloomberg, that Mays wants to vote for, maybe, he's been doing a major push kissing up to blacks, and I guess doing a lot of advertising, and blacks do fall for advertising. I know everybody else does it to an extent, but blacks really do. And so his support among blacks has increased a lot. Well, Bloomberg is in hot water for saying that blacks or, the minorities or the police go into these communities because they commit more crime. Blacks are they're not over-policed, they're under-policed, right? But they're policed more because they commit more crime. There's more crime in the minority communities. I don't know what the exact quote was. And he also made the point that, if anything, whites were policed too much because they were talking about the discrepancy between policing on whites versus policing on the blacks and others. But whites commit so many fewer crimes per capita especially, that it was warranted. And Asians commit even less, at least that they get caught at. But yeah, he told the truth, but the dummy apologized for stop and frisk, which was a positive thing that helped bring down crime. We needed broken windows policing and all of that stuff. When you go after the small crimes, you start preventing some of the bigger crimes from happening. You don't put up with any mess. So anyways, yeah, he told the truth, but he got in trouble for it. It was called racist, and that's a shame. Nobody should be falling for that. They should be like, yeah, he told the truth, and now he backed away from it because he's a coward. Kiss up, Democrat. What do you expect? Anyways, let me get to Matthew out of Texas, first-time caller. Matthew, what's up?
Hey, how are you doing? Sorry for my voice, first off. I got a little bit of a bad throat.
Okay.
A caller mentioned earlier about gay people going to hell, I think.
I didn't catch that.
So maybe it wasn't going to hell, but it was on gay people and
right.
Just homosexuality. And so the Bible speaks on, many different types of men, like effeminate men. Yeah. A lot of people take that as being homosexual, gay. Just curious, what is your interpretation of whenever the Bible says, shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven?
When they say the effeminate shall not enter the kingdom of heaven and all those others?
Is it inherit the kingdom of God?
I don't know, but one of those. I don't really have an interpretation of it, but it seems like a lot of people are in trouble unless they repent and change.
Well, yeah, repenting, is needed daily for a lot of people.
Daily?
Because,
I don't know about daily. I think you repent. If you actually repent, it's not a daily repentance.
Well, that's not exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. But anyways, make your point.
So, have you ever heard of Apostle Ron Carpenter?
I feel like I have heard that name.
He was from Greenville, South Carolina, and he's in San Jose now. I think you're in L.A.
Okay.
So he touched on this point whenever they legalized gay marriage, and he explained inheriting the kingdom of God. I think that's the actual phrase that's used as being happiness here on earth.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
And the way that he taught was, it's not that they shall not enter heaven, but that the homosexuals won't go to heaven. It's just that happiness here on earth will not be within them.
Well, so is he trying to imply they will get into heaven, they'll just never be happy here?
I don't know if he actually, he did say he doesn't know about entering heaven because he's, not the one making the judgment.
Right.
But he did leave it open as in he doesn't know.
Okay. Interesting, man. Yeah. Who knows? That's why we should stick with what we know and not get into what's debatable, what's questionable, what is unknown, because that's where it seems like Satan thrives. And that's where the world goes. That's what the communists do too. They go outside of your area of expertise and get you back on your heels, and then they They just steamroll over you if you get sucked into their arguments, you know? Their arguments about stuff that you don't know and don't need to be concerned about. You know what I mean?
I love a good commie. I love a commie. I love all people because
good.
The thing is, just let it happen.
What do you mean by that?
If you, just enjoy life, enjoy the things that are happening, and just step back and just let things happen because the ridiculousness in the world. If you kind of notice, people of a group, if you let them.
Matthew, I gotta go. Matthew, can you call me tomorrow?
Yeah, sure thing.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Guys, you can get this t-shirt and others if you go to rebuildingtheman.com/store, rebuildingtheman.com, and click on stores, and it'll take you to the stores page. It's on the menu there. And on that stores page, it's in the menu, guys, in the menu. rebuildingtheman.com/store. And it has the Jesse Lee Peterson t-shirts, the Fallen State t-shirts, and the Bond Rebuilding the Man t-shirts, as well as Jesse Lee Peterson's books and his music, some of the remixes and intros and other things. So it's cool. Make sure to check it out. And so I tried to compile it all into one page with like the most popular designs and things and some listings. So that way it's less confusing because you have 5 different places to get stuff. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. It's thehakereport.com for my stuff and jlptalk.com for the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show. All right, guys. Take care.